What is happening at J Gamer Dude here? And I've been going down like this really weird rabbit hole looking up games that are banned in other countries. And so I figured, you know what? Let's have a quick look at one of these fascinating cases of like why games get banned in other countries. And I thought about looking at specifically Saudi Arabia, because Saudi Arabia is such a fascinating country for a couple of reasons, and none of them are in a good way. I feel like I need to absolutely mention that up front. Not in a good way. So, for example, the Saudi prince has been like, buying up sort of game companies, sort of left, right, and center, and trying to put his money into like sports, doing stuff like sports washing, for example, buying out entire, not just teams, but also just creating their own leagues, buying teams, or buying an entire league outright. Like, for example, what they did with PGA, for example. I think it was PGA that they tried to buy out. But with all that said, they do have very, very stringent rules in place for people who live in Saudi Arabia. And so I kind of figured, okay, you know what? Let's look at some examples of games and just the absolutely awful reasons as to, like, genuinely some of these reasons just do not make sense to me as to why they would ban a game in a country. So, like, for example, so sexual content, obviously not great. So stuff like showing skin is not seen as a good thing. So I think after BlazBlue Continuum Shift, they didn't actually release any more even try to make any more BlazBlue games in the region, because okay, I didn't know this. However, the ban did not extend to digital versions of the game. That is an oversight right there. Suggested or revealing outfits. All I'm thinking is it must have been Makoto. I don't see any other character besides good old Squirrel Girl and maybe a couple of others. Actually, you know what? Maybe I should just keep that in. But yeah, again, Continuum Shift came out back in like 2010, 2011ish. That's kind of what we're looking at, because this was the second game in the series after all. Darksiders banned likely due to contradicting with customs and traditions. Because Darksiders is kind of like rewriting what the apocalypse is, who like the Four Horsemen are, and where, like, what the hell is going on. It's pretty much just rewriting like the certain sections of the Bible to create a more intriguing plot that also doesn't make any sense whatsoever, because of like the series kind of story. Because 3 contradicts a lot of what Darksiders 1 doesn't says. So Darksiders 1 happens, Darksiders 2 happens alongside and in part of Darksiders. So Darksiders 2 happens sometime along the side of Darksiders 1, and then Darksiders 3 happens before, in the future of, and in between Darksiders 1 and 2. It doesn't get any less confusing, let me tell you that much. Dead Island Riptide banned due to extreme depictions of violence and scantily clad game characters. Okay, so we have a 2-for-1 here with just... I know I was going to say decapitation, but it's depictions, okay? It's tough to read when you're like reading into a microphone and you know people are going to hear you. It just makes you stutter for a second. But yeah, okay, so we got a 2-for on the violence and just less clothes, I guess. Dead Rising 2, violence, gambling, and nudity. Was there gambling? I don't remember, because Dead Rising 2, off the record, I'm pretty sure might have had some, but I haven't played in like a long ass amount of time. Let's see here, Dragon Age Origins. Okay, this is gonna be a theme. For some reason, Saudi Arabia really does not like same-sex relationships, specifically because of Dragon Age Origins, Final Fantasy 16, and where we at? Valkyrie Drive, Last of Us Part 2. I can't tell if there were any other ones, but yeah, that was definitely like a big theme in this list. Was like, yeah, I don't get it. I don't get why. Maybe they don't. I mean, I could only really take guesses that they just don't want that sort of thing in the country, even though that thing might exist under their nose and they just don't know it. Possibly. Like, there's any number of things that could be the reason. Moving on from that. Okay, I don't know what's the deal with gambling, because I'm pretty sure the Saudi prince does own a lot of bits and pieces of gambling all over the place, like casinos and stuff. Because he buys so much stuff, it's just not even funny. And for some reason, alcohol consumption. I don't know. Like, again, it says banned likely due to this reason. It might not be exact, but it kind of gives you an idea of like what the thought pattern is behind how previous bans were made and how these bans might have been affected, or how this game was banned due to reasons that were previously specified in other games. But yeah, Final Fantasy 16, they're missing out on a great game. I'm not going to talk about this part of the story because it's a spoiler, so I'm just going to leave it at that. But when you see the character, you'll be like, oh, he's the one. He's the one. Yeah. And it only takes like 2 seconds, and then Square Enix refuses. God bless you, Square Enix. Speaking of which, Galgun Double Peace. Yeah, sure, I guess. I mean, you kind of like shoot ecstasy at girls and make them kind of jizz themselves on the spot. They stop trying to kiss you. Right. Okay, I didn't know there was nudity in Godfather 2, the game, so that's interesting to know. I was thinking about getting a copy just so I could platinum it on PS3. It's just a strange game to know it exists. The God of War series, this one has to be nudity for sure because of let's see, what do we have here? After complaints were filed regarding religious and sexual content in the games, obviously because of the topless chicks that you can bang for the mini game, and subsequently the 7 games in the series were banned for similar reasons. 2018's God of War was first entry to be legally approved for release in the UAE. That's fascinating because it does hit on a lot of Greek religion. A lot of the series hits on Greek religion, but God of War 2018 is in the Norse. It's sort of a Norse myth instead, which is very different. GTA, well, I mean, where is GTA not banned? Let's be real for a moment. Okay. Introduced Dirham as the official currency. User accounts. Yeah, GTA is just banned everywhere. There's no point in really even mentioning that. Let's see. Heavy Rain. Banned likely due to horrible things that the main character does to themselves, as well as sleeping with Madison. If you ever get to that point, obviously you could kill off every character and hide all the evidence and then get the worst possible ending, which also requires the most amount of work, weirdly enough. But yeah, Heavy Rain was alright for what it was worth, especially when I played it back in 2011, 2012, something like that. And this one is kinda dumb. Injustice Gods Among Us being called Injustice the Mighty Among Us instead. Let's see, failed to surpass the NMC's censors for a while, banned due to case package and on-disk software being identical to the European release, with the term God retained. Ooh, okay, so it's religious stuff, huh? That's a fascinating reason. Game has been demonstrated at various events such as UAE without incident for many months. However, the ban on this title has since been lifted, probably because they may have changed the title, I don't know. Reasoning as to why the ban had been lifted doesn't say, but yeah. Homosexual relations, so that was Last of Us Part 2 right there. Excessive violence and nudity in Mafia 2. I'm surprised that there's not other Mafia games on this list, but I digress. Max Payne 3. Yeah. Wait, hold on, what? Only for 3 weeks. Excessive violence and sexual themes, but then was lifted 3 weeks after release. And this was... So Max Payne 3 came out in 2011. That's kind of how long ago we're talking about. Red Dead Redemption was initially banned, lifted after 2 months. Looks like nothing was really done. Roblox. banned in 2018, likely due to content deemed harmful for children, but then was later lifted. You know what? This reason is reason enough for any country to ban Roblox, to be completely honest. Because I think, yeah, anyone could say Roblox is just harmful for children. In fact, you know what? TikTok could be the exact same thing. You just never know. Saints Row 3 and Saints Row 4. I was thinking more along the lines of the drugs and booze. That's probably, and maybe the dildo bat. You know what? There could be any number of reasons, just like GTA for a game to be banned. So nothing too special for Saudi Arabia here. I'm gonna come back to Spec Ops: The Line, Valkyrie Drive. So yeah, same gender relations. Watch Dogs 2 hacking and nudity, and also did not extend to the DLC. That is weird. Okay, so even though there was a ban due to hacking and nudity for the main, could be the reason for why the game was banned, but the ban did not extend to the DLC, and is only available on non-Steam distributors. Interesting. There was a ban on Watch Dogs 2, but that was lifted. Interesting. That's pretty interesting to know. I didn't really think about that. But this is okay. So now I'm going to talk about Spec Ops: The Line. This one hits me right in the heart, because I feel like everyone who has ever played a shooter should play Spec Ops: The Line. It's an excellent game that came out in 2011 and has a very excellent story. And if I were to describe it in the least spoilerish, but yes, most spoilerish way, it's really a mix of Heart of Darkness and Apocalypse Now. And if you've seen both of those extremely ancient movies, then you know what the plot of Spec Ops: The Line is going to be, most likely. So yeah, if you have not seen those movies, which I can almost guarantee most people have not, I would highly recommend playing this game. It's very good. But yeah, it's because it takes place in Dubai, so I can kind of see why Spec Ops: The Line might be banned for that reason. Let's see, what other reasons have been stated here? NMC has extended their focus for this title, going far as to issue the TRA to block the game's official website. Ooh, okay. So I think the TRA is the census for the country. The Telecommunications and Digital Government Relations Authority is a federal telecommunications regulatory agency of the UAE since 2003. Holy crap. And then, let's see, prevent the title from being distributed through the rest of the GCC as well as Jordan and Lebanon. Even local retailers such as GK Games are unable to sell the game via their online shops to UAE residents. That's actually pretty bloody impressive, not gonna lie. Oh man, yeah. So the reason why it's banned is because it takes place in Dubai, and they really are trying to stop it from being sold completely, because they don't want the whole there are some really horrible things that happen in that game, and that kind of is like the crux of what the game is about. So yeah, I kind of understand why, yet don't understand. So yeah, it's just a case of it is what it is. I don't know. There was some interesting takeaways from takeaways from this whole thing. Like just sort of reading through these, mostly about same-sex relationships and the fact that they really, really don't, they don't promote. I think is the word I was thinking of. They don't want to promote sexual themes and things like that. Also, it seems like excessive violence and anything to do with Dubai, anything to do with Dubai is just not like kosher either. So, let me know what you guys thought about all of this, about games being banned in. Crap, what was I looking at again? Games banned in Saudi Arabia. Let me know what you guys think about this list of games, the reasonings set out for them. Again, this isn't like a full list or anything. This was just kind of like a, I've been looking at stuff like this for a little while. Why not I just talk about it and see what kind of like reaction I can get online. So let me know what you guys think about it in the comments below. Anything and everything that I've talked about here, please do suggest. Also, no spoilers for any games, ideally, I hope. I probably shouldn't have said that because now I'm gonna encourage it or something like that. Like the video if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel. I'm aiming for 200 subs by the end of the year. And with all that said and done, I do upload every day. So I'll see you guys tomorrow.